Study shows that about 64% of Christian men and about 15% of Christian women admit to viewing porn monthly. Maybe not daily, but at least once a month. How many of you are between 18 and 30 years of age? You can just raise up your hands. For those of you that are, and if you're a man, the odds of looking go way, way up. 79% of men between 18 and 30 years of age admit to viewing porn monthly. And it raises the question, is purity even possible? And many describe it as a nonstop weight and a heaviness that just never goes away. You're dragging this lust problem, this porn problem, and there's always somewhere in your mind the wonder, the fear, the anxiety, what happens if, and why can't I, and why am I not, and where is God in all this? And you want to stop, but you can't. You're stuck in the lust loop. And I want to show you how the loop kills you and how to break the loop. Here's what tends to happen, and you would know this if you've ever been stuck in it. The first thing is you lust and you look, and it gives you that injury. Suddenly, the gift of love making the purity of how God intended it is distorted and disrupted in your life. But when you look and lust, you find yourself excited and you get this dopamine hit. You're like, oh, that was fun. Oh, that was thrilling. Oh, that felt good. Oh, I like it in the moment. And after the dopamine hit, then suddenly you feel this guilt and this shame, and I feel dirty and I don't want to do it. So you decide, I'm going to try to stop, and I don't want to do it anymore, and I'm going to overcome it, and God help me, and I promise I'm not going to do this. And when you try to stop, at some point, your body starts to crave that dopamine hit. I want the emotional escape. I want to forget about my problems. I want the hit. I want the thrill. I want the buzz. And so you go back to your injury that doesn't heal and continues to look and lust, and the cycle goes on. What does porn do? What does lust do? It kills you. Porn very specifically kills you. How? It kills you physically. It doesn't help your sex drive. It hurts it. It brings stress into your body. It kills you emotionally because you can't relate and love others in a way that God intended, because you objectify others and you start to see people through eyes of sex instead of through eyes of love. It kills you mentally because you enter into a mental battle in your brain that is very difficult to overcome. And it kills you spiritually, robbing you of confidence and joy. And so you hate it, but you can't seem to overcome it. And then you hope, one day, when I get married, all my problems are gonna be solved. Because you know we can be together twice a day, every day, and 3 times on Sunday when we get married. That's another sermon, and that's not true, but many of you think that. And then you do get married, and it doesn't go away. And the reason it doesn't go away is because you don't just have a lust problem, you're dealing with a spiritual injury that hasn't healed. How do we, as followers of Jesus, who have access to a God-honoring life and the ability to honor God with purity and integrity, how do we break the cycle? 2 big thoughts. The first thought, number 1, is this: if you're battling with lust and porn, don't conceal it, confess it. Don't keep it hidden, bring it out into the light. People who conceal their sins, they don't prosper, they don't find freedom, there's not healing. People who conceal their sins will not prosper, but if they confess and turn from their sins, they will receive mercy, they will receive healing. You don't conceal it, you confess it. There's 2 different types of confession. There's confession to God, and there's confession to people. And there are 2 different results from 2 different types of confession. Confessing to God brings forgiveness, but James says we confess to people for healing. James says, confess your sins one to another and pray for each other that you might be healed. Remember, you have an injury that hasn't healed. The second thing is, don't fight lust, flee from it. It's in 1 Corinthians 6:18. He didn't say fight sexual sin. He said run from it. Run. Because there is no other sin that so clearly affects the body as this one does. For sexual immorality is a sin against your own body. We don't fight lust, we flee from lust. Don't conceal it, confess it. Don't fight it, flee from it. And here's what's gonna happen. When you do this, the God who created your body will heal your body from the injury.